No, no, hold on, hold on. No, 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 no. 50%. Damn it. Okay. There you go. There you go. I like this one. This is like the good. This is inspirational music needed for this. Oh, da 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 da. Commandments are seen. One. Get. What was the first one? I totally forgot. I'm too hyped up.
Need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know him, but fuck him, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Todd's picking it up. Let's go to hell, is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still even is starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him cause he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, got a picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote, his will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds, the skill of an artist. This is 20% skill, 80% gear, be 100% clear, cause Ryan was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Why you had the stupidest verse? This dude is the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots and stocks through the roof. I hope you fucking with that stock. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. Call him Ryan, he was sick and he's spitting fire and Mike got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor with top, but a fucking nihilist porcupine. He's a prick, he's a cop. The type women wanna be within rappers, hope he gets shot. 8 years in the making, patiently waiting to blow. Now the record with your notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime, this shit is equally dope. You won't believe the kind of shit that comes out of this kid's throat. He's not your everyday on the block. He knows how to roll with what he's got, making his way to the top. He don't think it's a comment on his name. People keep asking him, was it given that birth that doesn't stand for an acronym? No, he's living proof. What a rock in the booth. He'll get you buzzing quicker than a shot of vodka with juice. Him and his crew and all around is one of the best. Dedicated to what they do and give 100%. Forget Mike, nobody really knows how or why he works so hard. It seems like he's never got time because he writes every note, he writes every line, and I've seen him at work when that light goes on in his mind. It's like a design is written in his head every time before he even touches a key or speaks in a rhyme. And those motherfuckers he runs with, the kids that he signed, ridiculous, without even trying. How do they do it? This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will,
5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you guys can see.
15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
I love this song.
To make the CO2
We're gonna play inspirational music as we draw the 10 Commandments for our sketchbook.
Predominantly wind and solar. And that is what
If you guys are not familiar with the 10 Commandments that I draw for my sketchbooks, I'm essentially just gonna explain them to you guys. First one. The book is yours, and yours alone. Your sketchbook is yours. So you can either draw in it, you can share it, you can not share it. Anything you do with it is fine as long as you're actually using it. That's the number one. Okay? Number two, you cannot grow if you do not make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. The key is learning from them. When you see something doesn't look right and you're able to self-acknowledge that, You take notes of it. This one's not a clean line, and it's not really round. And then try to correct it immediately. The next one. 3. Your art doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect. Why? Because there's no such thing as perfect art. There is no perfection. There's no perfect art. Therefore, your perfection is based on nothing. You can't say that there's a perfect piece of art. There isn't a thing. No one is going to have a perfect piece of art. There can be such a thing as like a perfect circle, but you can't have a perfect piece of art because art is subjective. There's not going to be ever an art that everybody agrees on. No one. There's going to be people that like simplified stuff, and that's going to be loved. There's going to be people that love super complex characters and cartoons that are exaggerated and stylized in heavy ways, and that's also good. And then there's going to be people that want to have even more detail and do like realism and editorial cartooning and, stuff like that. And guess what? That's also okay. There's no wrong answer here at all. The perfect art is the one that makes you happy. And that's how you should see it. The one that makes you happy, that's what you should do. So there's no perfect art. So don't worry about perfection. The book can be messy. Okay? So this is number 1. So don't treat your sketchbook like a portfolio. This is all in a 3. All your pieces that you want finished, finish them outside of your portfolio, outside of your sketchbook. Your sketchbook's not your gallery. It's not your finished piece gallery. It shouldn't be. Your sketchbook is going to be the next one. Your sketchbook is your learning tool. Your best learning tool. This sketchbook is meant to just be able to put blank ideas onto a piece of paper. That is what a sketchbook is. It's just a blank. There's nothing special to it, right? The thing that makes it special is what you make it out to be. Like, think about it like this. You have a lovely, lovely, lovely thing called the brain. And that brain can absorb a ridiculous amount of information. Ridiculous amounts. Like, it's unsurmountable how much information it can absorb and keep it and store it. So the key is to be able to learn how to take all the stuff that we can imagine and translate that to our lovely little hands. Right? If we can do that, then we have the ability to maybe draw something that resembles an idea of what's in our brain. So having the ability to do that doesn't just come out of nowhere. You need to be able to culture it. And how do you culture it? Well, you have to draw as much as you can by going and grabbing a little book that you can carry everywhere. So you need to bring something that you can carry everywhere you go so that whenever you see something interesting, a person that has a particular trait, like a mohawk or something, you can just capture that really quickly on a piece of paper, even if it's iconic. Even if the person is like a super like crazy like looking person and you can only capture this, you have at least now been able to get something on a paper, and now you can draw this from memory. The moment that you draw something and you are happy with it, that's like we have to add things to our mental memory, and this is how you do it. your learning tool, however you decide to use it, is up to you. But having the ability to just be able to capture something quickly that you see, not wait for it later, not when inspiration hits, all that crap. No. If you see something cool, like a cool tree, and you don't have the ability to draw it on the spot, you're going to lose the ability, that chance. That chance is gone. Even if you take a picture, it's not going to be the same thing. So having a little sketchbook with you is really good. Wait, what? The fact that you left the C out of the word perfect. You cut that, huh? Sketch Wallet is a good one. A Sketch Wallet, if you guys are interested, they sell these little wallets that have a little slit for a sketchbook. And they're called sketch wallets. I love them. Absolutely love them. I have a really cool one. I have I'm not sponsored by them, but I love promoting good products that help people. So there's little sketch wallets that have little pencils and pockets for stuff. That's really cool. So you guys check it out if you guys want to buy something for yourself. But your sketchbook is your learning tool, so treat it as such. Every page should have either something. That's number 5. Each page should teach you something. Something. Okay? Every page that you draw. In my case, I'm a little bit more advanced because I've been doing this for a long time, but I still do this, right? I still spend a little bit of time studying, and then I try to apply that to something that you do. This is the format that I normally would do before. Before I would do an entire sketchbook of studies and then apply that to something pretty. But when you combine it, you're going to see an exponential growth. You're going to see so much growth by being able to put together studies and finished work. Okay? So that's going to be the goal eventually, is to be able to use this to learn how to apply the things that we are trying to master. Your sketchbook, it's supposed to be a teaching tool. It's not supposed to be necessarily pretty. It's supposed to be there to teach you. If I was trying to draw an arm and I was okay, I need to draw it, but I can't draw it this way. If I draw it this way, does it still look good? It kind of looks weird. So now I got to move this one up a little bit so that it has a bigger range. Perfect. And then understanding little baby minuscule shit like that. Little tiny stuff like that eventually adds on, and it becomes this. It becomes just freedom of creativity. And that is what we're aiming for. We're aiming for that freedom, for that creative freedom that comes with being able to just sit down and draw random shit like this. And then just make it come together in a weird, silly way. Have a weasel, a buff axolotl, a unicorn, an otter, a swan, a toucan, a deer. I noticed that I need to work on horns. That is one thing that I realized. Then this one can be like a dinosaur or something, by adding some negative space. And then it could be eating or trying to eat like a fishy or something. There you go. Nice. Cool. That was a missing spot. So yeah, this has been a really fun one. So we are, I think we might have left too little space for the commandments, but we'll try to fit them in anyways. The next one, we got to play this as we play this. You guys ready for this? You guys ready? I don't think you guys are ready. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Business built to survive. Of the tiger. Thank you, Miss Charms. You'll see him in person one day whenever we actually get to hang out. Let's see. Of the tiger.
¿Por qué este
What's the
doctor
next
está en
one?
contra de los medicamentos para el zumbido en el oído? Científicos de la Universidad de Roma descubrieron que, a diferencia de lo que se cree comúnmente, este ruido insoportable no está relacionado con la sed, el envejecimiento ni la exposición a ruidos fuertes.
I don't know. Should we take this live? Okay, hold on. We're gonna just roast people if they're dumb.
Oh, nice.
Oh, who this?
What's up?
What's up? Who you?
My name is Paul from Synced Up Systems.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Can I help you, Paul?
Yeah. I came across your
Are you
thing
not aware
and
of what I'm doing?
No, I just saw it. You're an artist.
Yeah, I'm an artist. I'm teaching people how to draw in proper sketchbook etiquette.
Love
Do you
it.
have
Can
a
you teach me
question, or
something?
is this just like a random thing that you just kind of popped in here.
Well, I invited you to the live because I was doing a
You
live
seem like a
myself,
respectful
and
person, but I normally only take lives if people ask questions about art.
oh, okay. Well, my
Yeah.
question is, how
Okay.
long you been
Well,
doing
I'm
it?
gonna disconnect you. So later. Done. He was respectful. He was nice, but I don't feel like sitting here and just listening to someone ask me, "Hey, how you doing?" Nah, nah, we're not doing that shit. This is not like a coffee meetup. Like, why would you? You wouldn't do that to a teacher. Like, who would go and be like in the middle of class? In the middle of class, be like, "Hey, teach. Hey, what's up, dude?" Like, I'm giving a lesson. No, no, no. Hey, man, what's up? Hey, you been doing this for long? Yeah. You been teaching math for a long time? You like math? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, either participate or get out. Like, what? Stop. Annoying ass people. Let's see. Latin hits. I don't know any new music though. I only know all my. I know all my old stuff. All right, what's the song, Mermaid? Holding me back. When we hold on the palm of my hand. In this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was. In this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same. Oh, wait, what was the song? Hold on. Just a regular, everyday, normal guy? Is that what his name? Let's see, I'm gonna put it. Just a regular, everyday. Okay. All right, there it is. Everyday normal guy 2? Or why is it 2 when it's this one, I'm guessing. There's a 2 and a 1. So I just clicked on the 1. That's 1.
I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. Nothing special about me, motherfucker. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. When I go to the clubs, I wait in line, motherfucker. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. I got $600 in the bank, motherfucker. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. And my sexual performances are average. I work in customer service for a phone company. I make $12 an hour, but that's all I need. I live in a small apartment on a quiet street. I don't go out too much. I like to watch TV. I can't afford a car. I use public transportation. I don't mind. I read till I reach my destination. Sometimes a newspaper, sometimes a book. The amount of money I save, this shit is off the hook. And I'm not very good with the women. I'm a pretty shy person and I'm average looking. Last time I had sex was in 2003, and I'm ashamed to admit, but it wasn't free. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. I get nervous in social situations, motherfucker. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. I get constipated once a month, motherfucker. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. And I make pretty good spaghetti sauce, motherfucker. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. And I get scared when I go see the dentist. I'm the Pauly Shore of everyday life, easily forgettable, and I'm not very light. I have an according to Jim personality. I'm as entertaining as a fucking STD. If you wanna mess with me, I think you probably can, because I'm not confident and I'm weak for a man. I'll just roll up in a ball while you kick me in the back. Yeah, honestly, I probably won't fight back. And I don't have many friends that would back me up. My friend Steve would, but he doesn't look very tough.
You want some of this, bitch?
If you really get laid, put your hands up. If you're not well paid, put your hands up. If you got a pet cat, put your hands up. And if you got a bad back, put your hands up.
I hurt my back 2 summers ago moving a fridge, and ever since then it's not the same. You know, it gets pretty sore.
It's gonna start hurting if I leave my hand up.
Parents are really nice people, motherfucker. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. I'm somewhat afraid of heights, motherfucker. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. I like the show Grey's Anatomy, motherfucker. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. And I'm pretty good at making paper planes.
I could do this all day. I could do this all day. I could do this all day.
All right. We are done with today's sketch session. That was like 3 hours of sketching. That was pretty cool. So what we did today, let's recap real fast. Today we drew the 10 sketchbook commandments. So let's talk about those for a second. Let's just go over them again real fast, because I think they're actually quite important. And now we have visuals. So, why is it important to keep some etiquette in your sketchbook? Well, because it is one of the best learning tools that you have at your disposal. A blank piece of paper, aka even a post-it thing, gives you the ability to put down a drawing immediately if you see something cool. And if you have the tools for it, you can capture pretty cool moments really quickly. And the more you learn with your skills, the more you'll be able to draw and be able to come up with situations that call for like a storyline or whatever. Let's say we have a person here, maybe walking down the street, holding their groceries or something. Then we can have a person here doing something. Some buildings, some foliage, maybe in a park. Can even draw like a car right here, just with that little shadow. And then just like that, you build an entire scene. You can even put perspective if you know enough about how to like scale things. You know, you can have a lot of fun by learning all those boring things that you guys always think is boring, right? You guys thinking it's boring is keeping you from understanding how dope it is to know this stuff. Like knowing just simple perspective. I'm not even claiming to be a fantastical like person that has studied perspective forever. It's just a matter of understanding concepts like contrast, focus, detail work. And just like that, you have a whole scene in a second. You know, and then all you have to do is add an element that will make it into a scene. Ta-da! That's it. That's all it would take. And then by adding that little element, I can add the proper shading because then that's the light source. And even everything has a shadow in that direction now because that's the light source. And just like that, you have a scene with a little bit of feel to it. Oh. Again, once you start seeing things like I see things, this is easy. And I teach this every day. I teach this every single day. All of you have access to all that knowledge. You guys can all learn to draw like this relatively quickly. You just have to look for the information that I have put out there already. It's already there. There's hundreds of videos there already. Hundreds. All you have to do is go look for them. And they're all compiled in a YouTube channel. They're kind of like messy, but it's there. So if you like seeing shit like this and coming up with stuff like this, it's not an impossible task at all. Like I walk you guys through every step of the process. A little bit of feel. I've learned so much in the last 2 months from you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that because that's kind of cool to know. You know, that's kind of cool to see as well. Being able to know that I can teach people effectively makes me really happy. One of the things that I have found in my life is that I find happiness through bringing other people joy. I very rarely find joy doing things for myself. I very rarely have ever found a lot of joy doing things for. I don't know, the concept of self-love has never been really good with me. And I explain this often. And I show love the way that, I don't know, I wish that I could actually feel it, right? So I do all the things that maybe people would think is cool for them, and then that makes me happy. But me doing it for myself would not make me happy, if that makes any difference. I don't know if that makes any sense. But doing the things that I do, if I was doing it for myself, it would bring absolutely no joy. But doing it for other people brings me an immense happiness that I can't even explain. And teaching has been one of those things that has just brought me so much happiness. And it's just, I see people joyful every day because they get to draw something new and they learn something new. And to me, that's so incredibly nice and happy. It's like straight up addicting, man. Like when you see people's face light up and they're like, oh my God, now I know how to draw mouths because you just explained it well. And you're like, aw. Or now I know the spacing of my face. Aw. Or now I know blah, blah, blah. Like something random, right? Like knowing how to draw like an ear. You know, like just understanding that the ear is literally a little shape, like a circle. And then you just make a copy of it inside. And then you cut it out a little bit. And so you have, boop. And now you have volume. You have a ridge. And if you want to add more anatomy, you follow the bottom line and you make a Y. And now you have a whole ear. From the front, that same ridge is going to be there. But now instead of the circle being like this, the circle is like that. All right, so instead of being like this, where the ridge is like that, now the donut goes around. So now your ear, that little ridge, turns into this little ridge. And it goes around like a donut. And then the little lip gets added. Boop, boop. Now, if you have lobes, the lobe gets added underneath that. The lobe is additional. It's not something that everybody has. So you can always add as much of the lobe if you want. If you have like the hippie ones, you can just extend it. But you don't need to add that to every ear because not every ear has that. You just have to pay attention. From the back, you end up seeing the donut from the other side. So now you're seeing it from the back. So this ridge is this ridge. From the back side, you don't see this little lip. But from the back side, it's kind of like a bell. It just connects back to the body. Like if it was a cone, imagine that it was a cone from the back. That's the closest resemblance of what it is. It's a cone, and then you have your little ridge. So that's what's happening in the back. And then you have your lobe, if you have your lobes. And then that connects to the back of your head. That's exaggerated. And then here's the back of your ear, or your hair wraps around your ear, right? When they cut your hair with like buzzards, they wrap around your ear. So you always just go around the ear. So now again, let's do it a little bit more normal. How would like it actually look? So if you're looking at a person from behind, you draw your head like a cylinder. You find the midpoint, that's the back of the head. The back of the head of the skull is going to match up roughly where my ear ends up. So I have my little cone, Draw my hair, hairline, neck, jaw structure, front side, circle, compass, edge of the body, rib cage comes from an egg. So that's, everything has a connecting point. Everything connects to something else. And once you learn how that works, it's kind of like a puzzle. It's just a puzzle. And you just have to choose how far away, how far apart the puzzle pieces go. But everything is a puzzle. And I keep on working on enhancing that puzzle. Like learning how, like I'm learning a little bit more about the shoulder right now. So I'm working on generating like a little system that allows us to like draw the shoulder from the back a little bit better. because I keep on studying my own anatomy when I work out, and I keep on seeing like very similar patterns as to what I did in the face, but with the patterns in the back. So I need to figure out how those work properly so that I can explain them to people. Because once I can do that, once I can explain the back muscles, I think that's the only space that's relatively like weak in my knowledge. Because I have the knowledge of most of the muscles, but it's just a matter of like simplifying it, right? Finding ways to simplify it. That is the key. The key is not just finding a way to draw them. No. That's easy. That's easy. Just drawing them is easy. Like, but learning how to make them your own. Oh, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff right there. You know, like Rick said, like Sichuan, like is it Sichuan like special sauce or something? Like he's like crazy for it. Yeah, that's what makes me tingle. Like when I find like a pattern, because everything to me is like a Sudoku puzzle. Everything to me is like a Sudoku puzzle in a body, right? Like there's 1 through 10 or 1 through 9, and I have to fit everything within each other, and it has to fit. But it can't just fit in one way. It has to fit in every direction. And that is like the tricky part. The tricky part is making all these systems work in every direction. So if you're taking my ribcage egg method, right? How do you make this work in different directions? Like, would it work if you do it this way? Perfectly. Yeah, hell yeah, it works. How about if you do it, I don't know, upside down? Yeah, that works just as good. From the back, from the front. It's actually quite an easy system to like actually learn. Because it doesn't require a lot of anatomy knowledge. It just requires a lot of positioning knowledge. And positioning can be learned through observation. Positioning is all observation. Like, if you go to life drawing classes, don't worry about shading at all. Don't worry about shading at all. Don't fucking and at all. Don't worry about that. Focus on learning how to connect these two shapes, an egg and a circle. If you learn how to connect an egg and a circle, you can come up with any body style, every body shape, every body pose. Really, really easy. You will never have an issue doing life drawing stuff again. If you master those two shapes. It'll be so easy for you. You'll have so much time in between like your sets. Especially when there's clothing. Oh my God, when there's clothing, it just becomes a lump. And that becomes so easy when you learn how to draw through your shapes. It's so simple. Like, it's an egg and a circle. Connected. Watch my video on sushis because that's gonna help you a lot, like insanely. Like you'll never have to worry about posing again. And watch some of the last videos that I uploaded. That teaches you the flow of the body parts, and it teaches you how you can like easily facilitate learning how to draw volume into your shapes in every shape and form. So if you guys want to learn how that happens, just go watch some of the recent streams that I did. My content, it's hours long. It's hours long. So you can just put it in the background and like literally go sit down and just draw things as I talk about them, because I just explained everything visually too, apparently. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool that people just put me in like a background and then they just start trying to follow the directions through through just hearing what I'm explaining. But then I also found out that there's like this family that sits down with their kids. And I need to make sure that I'm not a big potty mouth anymore. I'm like scared that I don't want to like offend kids. There's things I want to teach. Cussing is not one of them. The back of a head. It just teach me daughter not to repeat things. Do as the teacher does, not as the teacher says. All right. So, what else should we do? Let's see. We already filled up a whole page here. I was gonna call it quits, but then you guys asked me stuff, and then I got a little bit of like energy again. But I should probably go feed my puppy. It's been like 3 hours. Yeah, I'm just gonna like finish up here, and then we'll use this as like the extra anchor space whenever we like want to talk more. So, anything else you guys want to learn? Anything else before I go? You guys have like last call here. Do dee do 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 dee do do dee do dee do dee do dee do dee do dee do 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 dee do 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 do. Stomach squash and stretch. Well, your stomach doesn't really squash and stretch very much. If you have your rib cage and you have your hip bones, right? And your hip bones come from that circle that we draw. So you have an egg and you have your hip bones. Whenever you are actually drawing your characters, your abs are going to come from the inside points of those circles in the midpoint of your rib cage. You're going to draw your little divot for whatever size the rib cage is, and then you're going to connect that to the inside of those hip bones. That's going to be your stomach. Now, whenever you have compression points, aka you bending that egg shape into that circle, you end up compressing a little bit right there in the middle. So the only area that really flexes is this little section in the middle, because these are bones. This is a bone and this is a bone. That doesn't bend. That doesn't flex. So the only time that you have to worry about is that little in-between space. And that little in-between space can be easily learned to draw through just doing little tiny beanbags. And eventually, you can use those beanbags to draw all your action poses. So the actual rib cage and the hip bones only really separate each other whenever you're really twisting yourself. When you're really twisting your body, and you have like, let's say your butt right here, and then little Nacho Libre pose. Yeah. My butt looks ridiculously good in these pants. I do it for the orphans. Nacho. So when you're twisting your elements, this area right here is still connecting to the front of the hip, to the middle of the rib cage. It's just going around now. And it's easy to identify the front and the back by just putting two colors in the front and the middle. Like when you're like drawing your shapes, identify one side as the back by coloring it in, one in the middle, and then shift this midline a little bit. So now only the back is black. And you have a front line. That midline, once you establish a midline, it's easy to move it. Once you establish a midline from the front and the back, when you move this, you're left over with white, right? So now it looks like it's twisting. And the more you do that, the more it's gonna twist. So you find your midline, and then let's bring that all the way down here. Ta-da! Was that hard? That's not hard, right? And then when you start adding all the other techniques that I've taught you guys, you can draw your bodies from these. Oh, it's twisting. Hold on. Then the legs go differently. Hold on. The legs go this way. This way and this way. Yeah, forget the other two. So a heavier set person would be more expanded. Yeah. I mean, a heavier set person just has more volume. So let's draw two characters that are exactly the same width. Right? In their initial stages, like two sushis, exactly the same sushis. Exactly the same upper bodies into just one arm, because we're gonna have to draw two. Okay, so imagine we have that. If we just make this one slender and you just leave it about the length of that, whenever you add your anatomy or any semblance of style, you're gonna have a character that has a little bit more definition. If you want to have a character that has bigger body weight, like a chubbier person, you have to make sure that you add that volume on top of that skeletal system. And you're going to start seeing things connect and overlap into each other. And that is how you end up adding just more volume. If you have chubbier arms, that doesn't mean that your arm magically gets fatter this way. Your volume always goes inside. So you would just have it really close to the body. That's fine. It would just overlap. So you wouldn't have to draw them like a Michelin Man. If their person is bigger, you don't have to. That's why we have the separation from the rib cage with that compass. So that whenever you draw a person that's chubby, you don't have to draw them like the Michelin Man. If you don't draw a separation from there, then your arms come from the neck. If you do, your arms come from the side, from the edge. So even if you add a bunch of belly, you still have access to drawing your arms here. You need that space. That spacing is necessary. But a lot of people don't do it. Anyways, we're going to call it a night. Thank you guys so much for keeping me company. You guys are the best. If you guys want to support, as you guys always are aware, I do have books for sale. So if you guys want to go purchase my books, you guys can find them through the links in my bio. The books consist of a bunch of 100 pages, like thousands of drawings that are there for you guys to use as reference, as sketches for your finished projects. Go for it, dude. I don't care. That's the reason I publish it. If I can make your guys' life easier, then do it. Hey, you want to make that into a goblin? Go ahead. Scan it. Use it as a sketch. Change it to a goblin. Cool. Success. Done. And you have complete permission from me to do it. So that is what the books are for. So I have 4 books total right now, some including some beautiful pinup work. And the art block books are the ones that I'm talking about. The art block books are the ones that have free reign over your guys' drawings. So you guys feel free to go purchase them. The ebooks are really cool to bring into Procreate. You just bring in the pages that you want to actually do. It's kind of cool. Instead of scanning a book, you have thousands of sketches already ready for you. So anyways, take care, everybody. You guys are awesome. I'll see you guys later. Probably tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning, if I wake up on time. I haven't been sleeping well, so I might sleep in. I might not even stream. Honestly, I'm trying to see if I can find the will to rest. Instead of finding the will to stream, now it's finding the will to rest so that I can hopefully start getting better because my health has not been good. And lately I've been feeling really defeatist. Like I don't feel like I'm going to be here for long. And I don't know why, but it's just a feeling that I've had lately and it's freaking me out. But I'm not done yet. I'm still here. So I'm going to go feed my puppy. I'm going to feed myself too. And I'll see you guys later. Take care, everybody. You guys are awesome.